Welcome in to another bonus episode here in Hockey Inside Out. The question today is, which young player could have a breakout season this year?
I'm going to go with Alex Newhook. I just think that, the Canadiens got him from Colorado. Here's a guy who has offensive ability. Obviously, a 16th overall draft pick. Marty St. Louis said he's going to get a better chair with Montreal. He's going to play probably top six. He'll probably get power play time. I think this will be a breakout year for him. That's what the Canadiens are banking on. They're giving him an opportunity. I think Marty St. Louis is going to be a really good coach for him. So that's the guy. And the other guy, I don't know if it was sort of a breakout year last year for Caden Gooley, but he only played 44 games. But this kid, I think, is just going to be a really, really, really good NHL defenseman. And if he can stay healthy and play a full season, I think this will be a big breakout year for him. He's the full package on and off the ice. Offensive skill, physical. He's got a little bit of a nasty streak to him. A really mature kid on and off the ice, liked by his teammates. Is able to handle the pressure and whatever comes in Montreal. He's a guy that I think the future, he's going to be here, I think, for a long time, and I think he's going to be one of the top defensemen in the NHL, the way what he showed last season when he was healthy. So if he can stay healthy for a full 82 games, I think this will be a big, big season for Caden Gooley also.
Yeah, I love the Caden Gooley pick because I look at him and I see a guy that, yes, his underlying numbers were not great last year. He was playing in a position that he really shouldn't have had to be playing at 20 years old, taking on the top players on every team. Like one of his first games in his career, he was taking on Sidney Crosby. And if you guys remember that game, he actually played Sidney Crosby extremely well in that game. He was very motivated to take on Crosby and did it well. I think he's a great candidate for a breakout year next year, but I'm going to go with Uri Slafkovsky. I'm going to put my belief in Adam Nicholas and the Montreal Canadiens right now and say that they didn't make a mistake last year. It looks like a mistake for sure, but I'm going to say that NHL experience is going to help Uri Slafkovsky approach this year differently, and he knows now what it takes to be a successful NHLer, and I think he's going to score 20-25 goals. I think he's going to put himself over the course of the season into the top six conversation and onto the power play, which I think he did last year before he got hurt. I think he's going to get a fair amount of production this season, and hopefully we see his playmaking skills come through, because coming into his first year, it was actually his playmaking, I thought, that stood out more than his shot. He has a great shot, but he likes to make plays. He liked to make plays in, I believe it was the Finnish league that he played in the World Championships, in the Olympics. It was just his shot that carried through because it seemed like he was the only guy who could score. I'd like to see him playing with guys who can actually complement him. And, if he could play a full season with Sean Monahan, what we saw between those two and the chemistry between those two, I think we could see a lot of good things coming out of Uri Slafkovsky. Just maybe no more Jake Evans and Michael Pezzetta. Those guys, they don't mesh together. I don't think he can be a fourth-line guy, and whether that's Marty St. Louis being frustrated or the fact that he just didn't earn minutes above the fourth line last year, this year he's got to get those opportunities, and I assume that he will, and he's going to be the breakout player.
And, you guys saying Caden Gooley, mentioning Caden Gooley, he was in my number one pick of a young kid that's going to be just that much better next year. And I'm hoping the injury bug is behind him because we saw a lot of big things from a young defenseman with his ability to handle a lot of different situations. And he doesn't seem to be fazed by any challenge that is given to him. As a quality character kid that wants to get better, I'm hopeful that he stays healthy, and we're going to see a big jump in his overall play and how he handles things. And he's going to be the go-to guy, I think, back there on the blue line that you can use in any situation, and he thrives on the opportunity. And great character, a great kid with tremendous upside, and we're looking for great things. And he's my number one guy to make things big time difference next year.
My concern with Slafkovsky is that, he only played 39 games last season, and the NHL just looked too fast for him. Like, it just looked like the game was moving too quick. He really had problems in his own end against the wall, trying to get pucks out, and the defenseman coming on him quicker. You're right, though. Andrew Sean Monahan really did slow the game down for him when he played with him, so it'll be interesting to see if that works. If it doesn't work, though, I wonder if the Canadiens be willing this season after like 15 games, 20 games, if he looks like he did last season, if they'd be willing to send him to Laval, let him play more minutes, let him get his confidence, let him move forward. We talk about David Reinbacher, the number 5th overall pick this season. I don't think anybody expects him, including him, to be in the NHL next season. He's either going to go back and play in Switzerland or play in Laval. And, that to me, that's a good thing. I mean, Reinbacher talked at development camp about how difficult it is, or it's going to be for him adjusting to the smaller rink. He said that's going to be the biggest adjustment he's going to have going to the NHL. And the same thing with Slafkovsky. It was just the game was so much quicker in that smaller rink, and it was a big adjustment for him, and he wasn't ready for it. And the fact he only played 39 games, is he going to be ready for it this year? I hope so. I like the kid. He's a good kid. He's a big kid. You can see he's got all the size and skill. But hopefully, as you mentioned, Andrew, for his sake, hopefully Sean Monahan can help with that. And I'd like to see Juraj Slafkovsky do well this season, but I haven't seen anything up to this point yet that gives me confidence he will. Whereas with Goulet, I've seen lots of reason to have confidence that he will have a breakout season. But if they both have a breakout season, boy, that would be great for the Habs.
Andrew, you mentioned Slafkovsky. What do you deem as being a breakout year? How many goals, how many points do you think he could get if he plays the full 82 in Montreal?
I mean, I think it's less about the actual production and more about what Stu's talking about, looking like the game isn't passing him by. Like, he could have a breakout year where he scores like 15 goals in 82, but he looks like he belongs, right? He's playing that power forward style. He's getting passes through. He's not waiting for things to happen. He's making things happen. I think those are the big things for Juraj Slafkovsky. And yeah, he only played 39 games last year, but I think just the age difference, the amount of time that he spent around the team, I'm hoping that he starts on a better foot this year than he did last year. And maybe we all know that he doesn't lack in confidence, so that's a good thing heading into this year. And doesn't lack in maturity off the ice, we'll say, but maybe there's some maturity on the ice that gives him more opportunity in the coaching staff's eyes, that he can take on more responsibility and he can thrive in that. That's what he needs, right? He needs to be challenged and to rise to those challenges. We didn't get to see that last year, partially because the season was cut short and partially because he didn't look like he could handle those extra challenges, so he didn't really get exposed to them. So a year with either whether it's Doc or Suzuki or Monahan as his pivot, I think would do a lot for his confidence as a full-time NHLer. Staying healthy would do a lot. Maybe staying engaged the whole shift so he doesn't get knocked over by some 5'9" guy coming from the side. That would be good. Slafkovsky's got a lot to improve on, but I do see a lot there that he can become an impact NHLer. And also, honorable mention to Justin Barron as a breakout candidate. We saw last year the offense in his game is extremely underrated. The big thing with him for me is it seems like when he gets the puck on his stick, he almost buffers for 1.5 seconds. And if teams are closing on him quickly, he can be taken advantage of and he can make mistakes with the puck. But once that 1.5 seconds is passed, he's pretty good puck distributor, pretty good decision maker. He's just got to activate his brain a little bit faster, and then he could be a very good player on this team.
Well, a big reason why Marty said we had Slafkovsky on the fourth line last year is because on the fourth line, you're usually playing against the other team's fourth line, and the game's a little slower as opposed to when you're playing against the other team's best players. So if Monahan can allow him to play on a second or third line and the ability to slow the game down a bit for him, that would be the best situation, I think, for Slafkovsky going into next season.
Well, plenty of intrigue, plenty of breakout names that we have as listed by you three guys, and we'll see what they could do this year. And most importantly, stay healthy. That's going to be key for these young guys. Stay healthy, and then we'll see what they do. And Stu, you made the point before, right? For Martin St. Louis, he encourages them to make their mistakes and learn from that. And we'll see in year 2 for these guys how that will be for them as they evolve as NHL players with the Montreal Canadiens. Don't forget to submit your questions and comments here on Hockey Inside Out. And check out the YouTube page for Hockey Inside Out episodes. And then for the newsletter, head on by MontrealGazette.com/newsletters. And for bonus content and full episodes, head on by Hockey Inside Out. On behalf of Stu, Rick, and Andrew, wish you a great week. We'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.